Welcome, crew, to day 2 of our Rocky Railway adventure. I'm Mr. Conductor, and I am grateful to be able to take you on this adventure all week long. We're going to be learning how Jesus helps us get through the hard things.
You know, today, we're going to be imagining what it's like to travel through the vast, wild, beautiful Rocky Mountains. It's amazing the types of things that you can do up there. You know, the Rocky Mountains go from all the way up in Canada, all the way down to New Mexico, and that's a long ways. It makes me wonder, what would it be like if I was up in the Rocky Mountains? What would I want to do? Well, for me, I'd like to take a hike through the beautiful forest that I see out there. Crew, what about you? What would you do in the Rocky Mountains?
I would love to dive into a lake at the top of the mountains.
I mean, that's a lot of mountain. There's got to be at least 5 miles of mountain. I bet I could find some really cool animals up there.
Ooh, and be able to maybe find some really hidden waterfalls somewhere. That would be really nice.
That would be nice. For me, it's all about trout fishing in the streams.
Cool.
There are so many cool things that you can do on a train or in the mountains, right? And there's one thing that we always have in common if we're on the train. We're all going in the same direction.
We can't see God like we see a train track or the trees or the mountains. But maybe there's something that you saw that reminded you of God and all of his wondrous things. Maybe you saw a sunset that reminded you of God, or a beautiful lake with a bird flying right over on top of it.
Beautiful.
God sightings are all sorts of ways to be able to give God credit for something that only he could do. Crew leaders, huddle up with your crew and take turns sharing something that you've seen that you know only God could have done.
You have something that you could share with us?
Well, let's see. I woke up this morning, it was really early, and there was a beautiful sunrise. And I just knew that only God was the only one who could have made that.
What about the crew? What do you guys have? God sighting.
Last week there was thunder and lightning.
Only God can do that.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
About 3 years ago, I saw a shooting star in the night sky after I prayed.
Wow.
Amazing.
Amazing. For me, it was witnessing the birth of my children. That was my God.
Absolutely. Everywhere we go, Jesus' power gives us the will to be able to move forward no matter what the situation is. Let's try something. Let's look at this balloon, for example. Think of this balloon as having all sorts of good stuff inside of it. Like you're thinking of a happy thought, or you're thinking of a happy memory. Actually, let's do this. Let's try this at home. Let's everybody put their hands up like you are going to make your own red balloon like I have here. Good job. Now, what we're going to do now is I want you to take those thoughts and put them inside those balloons. Maybe it's a thought of a friend, or a thought of a loved one, or a good experience that you have, right? Everybody have your good thoughts?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes life isn't always fun. Sometimes there are things, bad things that kind of happen. You may get a bad grade in a class one day, or you may get sick or have a family member that gets sick, or maybe you have someone that moves away that you were really close with. And that just leaves you really feeling deflated, doesn't it? Yeah. But the good news is that with Jesus is more than just good feelings. Jesus is with us all the time, no matter what. So regardless of what the situation is, Jesus will always be there. His love will be able to guide us and give us and provide us with the energy and the strength that we need to go above and beyond no matter what life's situation is. Wow.
we trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey. There's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, oh, oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey. There's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, oh, oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. We stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you. Trusting in you. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you.
Today, boys and girls, our surprising Bible buddy is going to remind us that Jesus' power gives us hope.
Trust
Jesus.
Let's meet him today.
Glad you're back on track at Rocky Railway. Wow, the first day just flew by, didn't it? I'm Ava, a red-tailed hawk. You can find me and my family members all over North America. We're everywhere. Even though we live all across North America, you may not see me in your backyard. Well, unless you don't have any neighbors. We like to live in wide open spaces where we can soar over treetops, grass, and water looking for food. You might say that red-tailed hawks are faithful friends. When we find a mate, we stay together for life. My fine feathered friend and I build our nest together and care for our chicks together. We're an excellent team. I'm happiest way up in the sky. That's why I build my nest at the tallest point I can find. Some hawk nests have been spotted as high as 120 feet off the ground. That's as high as a human tower of 20 tall crew leaders. My nest might be at the tip top of a tree, or even on the top of a building or a telephone pole. That gives me a bird's eye view of what's around: food, friends, or animals that might want to hurt us. Ah, I love soaring with my big, beautiful wings. They're more than 3 feet across, you know. God gave me just what I needed to catch the wind and just fly. Up here, you see things differently. Stuff that seemed big seems smaller. Things that seemed harder look much easier. A path that looks like a dead end? Hey, I can see a way out. A fresh perspective can put the wind under your wings and give you the strength to keep going. Sometimes I spot you humans with my sharp hawk eyes, and you look a little down. Do things seem impossible? Scary? Hopeless? Maybe you need a fresh perspective. Maybe you need to see things Jesus' way, with hope. Jesus is stronger than anything. He has a plan for everything. You can have strength, courage, and hope. The Bible encourages us with these words. So be strong and courageous, all you who put your hope in the Lord. Jesus' power gives us hope. So trust Jesus.
As you can see, boys and girls, the Bible buddy is Ava. And Ava is a red-tailed hawk. When we see her, she's going to remind us that Jesus' power gives us hope.
Trust Jesus.
Yesterday, our friend Camtrack was stranded up here on the mountain. All those boulders had gone across the tracks, and he was trying to get some people with his crew to help clear the tracks. I wonder, do you think they got that done? Oh, here's our friend Cam. Cam, how you doing, buddy?
Well, my crew and I, we worked and we pushed and we shoved and we got all those boulders off the track.
Amazing.
But the boulders were so heavy, they damaged the track. That's a whole nother problem to fix. We're still stuck.
Definitely not good. Very frustrating, Cam, but the tracks will get fixed eventually.
Eventually? Eventually is not okay. Do you have any idea what's on those trains?
No?
Skittles! Skittles are on those trains. People loves their Skittles.
Oh, yeah, I love mine.
But if we can't get down the mountain, then we can't deliver the Skittles. And if we can't deliver the Skittles, then people will be mad at us. And if people are mad at us, they're going to yell at us. And if they're yelling at us, then I'm going to get scared. So maybe I should just stay up here so I'll never go anyone yelling at me.
Oh, man.
I think I ran out of steam.
I would say you did. I would say you did. Well, you know, Cam, it's a good thing because our friends and I are learning, you know, that Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus. You know, when things seem dark, that's when Jesus' power can help us. Let's imagine something here. Close your eyes for me. All right, now let's go to your happy place. You're driving a train.
Driving a train.
Driving a train.
Happy
All right,
place.
with me? All right, now we're going over a bridge, across a nice flat field, around a beautiful bend. Here comes a tunnel. It's dark. It's really dark, Cam. Can you see the tunnel, Cam? Can you see how dark it is as you're coming up to it? And you're getting into it, and it's really, really dark. Now, Cam, can you see the light at the end of that tunnel? How do you see it? Do you see it, Cam? Open your eyes for me.
Wow, I really do see it.
All right, all right. Well, see, Jesus is like that light at the end of the tunnel. The hope is there, right? And Jesus' power helps us see that hope and helps us go for it because Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus. Sometimes life gets dark and it doesn't always go the way we want it to. And sometimes it can be really frustrating, Cam. But if we rely on the power of Jesus, we can always have hope.
Wow, that sounds great, Conductor Miles. Thank you for... Hey, I see what you're doing. Put those Skittles down.
Oh, no, Cam, you better get over there quick because I don't think those Skittles are going to survive.
Hey, no waiting to Skittles. Spit those out. I told you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of Summer Block Party and Bible Adventure. I am so happy that you could join us tonight. Let's see. Last night, we learned a Bible point, and that Bible point was, Jesus' power helps us do hard things. Trust Jesus.
Then I found his grace. Now I'm a believer.
Great job, everybody. Tonight, we have a brand new Bible point, and that Bible point is Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus.
Then I found his grace. Now I'm a believer.
Now, if you remember our story from yesterday, we learned about a bad man named Saul that Jesus filled with the Holy Spirit. And Saul, he started going by his Greek name, Paul, and he became one of the biggest supporters of Jesus during his time. In fact, Paul told so many people about Jesus and how awesome he is that the Roman government kind of got mad at Paul. They wanted him to stop talking about Jesus, but Paul didn't stop, and he told everyone that he could about Jesus. So the Roman government, well, they arrested Paul, and they put him on a boat to Rome to stand trial against none other than Caesar. And that's where today's story picks up. Paul is on a big boat sailing to Rome with lots and lots of other prisoners. And this was a sailing ship, no motors, just sails. It took a long time to travel to Rome, months, and that's if the seas were calm. But that's not the case for our voyage. Let's watch the chalk to see what happens.
Wow, these seas are really rough. Lots of wind and rain. I'd better talk to somebody about this. This can't be good. I better go find the captain. Captain!
That's Captain Tiberius to you. My friends, they call me Jim. Some call me Kirk. But that's another story. How may I help you, Paul?
Captain Tiberius. We're in danger, grave danger. This storm is raging and I believe there's trouble if we go on. Loss of cargo and shipwreck and danger to our lives as well.
Now the captain, Captain Tiberius, did not listen to Paul. He decided to keep going. He wanted to find a better place to dock before they finished the voyage. So they started to sail away from Crete, a city on the way to Rome. I bet you can guess what happens next. You guessed it, the storm gets worse. The boat rocks and tosses the men everywhere. They start throwing supplies overboard to try to make the ship lighter. And after many days and many nights of this huge storm, the sailors and other prisoners seem to have lost all hope. The next morning, Paul gathered all the men, including Captain Tiberius.
Men, I have some good news. And a little bit of bad news. The bad news is, you should have listened to me in the first place and not left Crete. You would have avoided all this damage and loss. But take courage. The good news is that none of us will lose our lives. But the ship's still gonna sink. Well, I guess that second part was kind of bad news too.
How do you know this? Who told you this news? It's just not logical, man.
I'm glad you asked. Well, last night, an angel of the God whom I belong and whom I serve stood beside me and he said,
"Don't be afraid, Paul, for surely you will stand trial before Caesar. What's more, God, in his goodness, has granted safety to everyone sailing with you.
So take courage, for I believe God. It will be just as he said. But we're still going to be shipwrecked on an island."
You see, Paul remembered what the angel had said, and Paul told the men, and it encouraged everyone. They were in that storm for 14 days. Then, Paul spoke to them again.
Men, you've been so worried you haven't touched food for 2 weeks. Please, eat something now for your own good, for not a hair of your heads will perish. Men, please pray with me. Lord, thank you for this food, and thank you for the promise to keep us safe. Amen.
Wow, what an amazing adventure. After Paul thanked God and prayed for everything, all 276 men on that ship ate. Then they threw a little bit more cargo overboard to lighten the ship even more. And just like Paul said, the ship ran aground and it broke apart. But everyone on the ship grabbed parts of the broken ship and swam all the way to shore. And they were all safe, just like God had promised. Wow, what an amazing story of hope. Paul knew that Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus.
Then I found his grace. Now I'm a believer.
Well, that's all I have for you tonight. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.
Welcome, guys! Are you ready to have fun? I got to start off with a question. Did you bring your imagination today? Oh, hopefully you did. It's only the second day, but I have a friend named Ava. She is the red-tailed hawk. And you know what she said? She brought her imagination, and she told me that God is so imaginative that he gave red-tailed hawks one-of-a-kind call. Let's see if we can listen. Wow, that's amazing. All right, so now what we need to do, close your eyes and let's imagine that we are flying like a red-tailed hawk through the beautiful mountains. Going down, going around. All right, that was a good flight. Now, do you think red-tailed hawks, can they see in colors or black and white? What do you think they see since they can fly and so imaginative? Let's think about that. You know what? They can see in colors. They can see in so many colors. They can see more colors than we can. That is crazy. So I want you to think about bubbles. They're imaginative. They take flight and they're bouncy, just like they can lift spirits and they're beautiful to look at, just like our hope that we have in Jesus is so beautiful. Now, we have a fun activity to think about that goes along with our bubbles. But first, let's think about a bubble. It has many, many different layers. It has 2 layers of soap and water is in between that. So it's kind of like a soap sandwich. Have you guys ever ate a soap sandwich? That don't be good. So let's look at the bubbles. We notice that it is a form of a sphere, completely round, just like our craft today. Sciencey fun gizmos, which includes spheres. It's called the Hope and Hover. Do you ever in life feel down and feel like you just need hope? Well, God gives us hope and raises our spirits, just like our craft today. So when we finish, it's gonna be like we can tell others about our hope, and it brings us up and we celebrate and we can thank Jesus for the power that gives us hope. Trust Jesus. So what you're gonna do with our craft is you have a cardboard box, a plastic piece with 2 rings. You're gonna put that in the middle of the tube, and you have 2 styrofoam balls. When you're gonna blow through this, and you can hit either one. and it's okay if it falls over. Just like we have ups and downs in our life, Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus.
We are back here once again for our Rocky Railway wrap-up. What a day it has been. When we get done here, I want you to go outside and find some God sightings. You know, where we can see God's power in action.
Today we discovered that Jesus' power gives us hope.
Trust Jesus.
Our Bible memory buddy, Ava the red-tailed hawk, helped us to be able to discover that our hearts can soar spectacularly by trusting in Jesus.
Boys and girls, Ava reminds us that Jesus' power gives us hope.
Trust Jesus.
I want you to put out your arms like they're majestic wings and fly like a red-tailed hawk today. And crew members, what I would like you to do is take the card you have and put it in your crew member's wing and fly some more and remind them every day that Jesus' power gives us hope.
Trust Jesus.
I am so excited, friends. I did some reading yesterday, and did you know in these very rocky mountains, people came from far away on steam engines a long, long, long time ago. And they were panning for gold, that sparkly, spectacular, special gold. Well, I'm going to try my luck at it, and I'm hoping that I'm going to have some success.
On the railroad all the live long day. Hey, Mr. Conductor, what you doing?
I am panning for gold.
You're just wasting your time. There ain't no gold up in these hills.
Well, you know, I am hopeful that I will find some gold. They couldn't have got it all.
Well, let's see. So before you get started, quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
What is that thing right there?
Oh, my headlamp. See, it helps shine the light on the ground so that the sparkly, spectacular gold shines out. Kind of like Jesus' power shines the light on things for us.
Oh, okay. Mind if I help?
Oh, I have no problem if you help, but you got to put on a headlamp.
Well, let me get to it.
There you go. Let's just go ahead and turn that on.
All right.
That's looking really good. I like it. Don't you? Wait. We got that. I digress. So let's get to panning.
Okay, I see.
And you got to look closely. You got to make sure you're looking close. And the light will shine and it'll sparkle and find it right. See, look, keep looking. How are you doing? How you doing?
Mr. Conductor, I found gold! I found gold!
Wow, well, you know what? You keep yours. I'm gonna keep looking.
I found gold!
I'm gonna keep looking for mine.
There's still gold up in them hills. I found some gold!
Why, look.
You found some more gold too!
I found some gold! I'm so happy. You know, how did we find the gold? We looked and we searched and you know, I had a friend come help me, and he helped shine a light on the dirt, kind of like God's love shines the light on all the dirt in our life. We might not be able to see through the yuck and the dirt and the ugliness, but Jesus' light helps us, and it shines through.
Well, I tell you what, searching for gold sure did give me a rush. Maybe that's why they call it a gold rush.
Most definitely. Now, my crew's at home. You'll be able to find your own gold in your kit if you go back and you look. Crew leaders, go ahead, pull it out, and let's talk about what do you think we had to do? What do you think the special things we did to find our gold? I think as we were looking, I was able to shine a light using my headlamp. And remember that Jesus' power gives us hope.
Trust Jesus.
And I was able to use that light to find my sparkling, spectacular gold. Well, crew, it's been a rockin' day on the rails. Remember, go outside, find a God sight, and remember that Jesus' power gives us hope.
Trust Jesus.